What's good, y'all? John from the One Carolina Show here on Victory Sunday, leading up to Victory Monday on one of the best wins, in my opinion, in franchise history. Man, to perform and complete the sweep of the Atlanta Falcons, hated rival. Yes, I said it, rival. I don't care what any of y'all have to say about, oh, there's not rivalries anymore. Yes, rivalry. We should have done it last week. We got it done this week, right? But regardless, the fact is that we are still well within the playoff hunt. With the Tampa Bay Bucks losing today, that puts us at 6-5, them at 6-4. Man, this is anybody's division at this point. Well, not anybody, us and the Bucks, right? Fighting down to the end. Isn't this what we always wanted, y'all? Isn't this what we always wanted? A winning product on the field. But then something else happened. Something that many of y'all wanted. Something that, yes, I want, no doubt, but I also had no doubt that this kind of performance could eventually happen. Bryce Young, man, hats off, bro. I'm not taking my hat off because I need a haircut, right? But hats off to you, bro. This was an incredible performance. I mean, passer rating through the roof, yards, most yards in franchise history in a single game, which is insane when you think about some of the great games of Cam, some of the great games of Jake Delhomme, right? Man, this is what it's the one we always wanted. It's the one we were waiting for. But it's not surprising, especially in that house. Do we forget what Lil Buddy did in the SEC championship? A record that still stands to this day against Georgia, against a team that had multiple players go in the first round of that draft, right? So this ain't new territory, right? New for some of y'all, new for the haters, right? But the point is look, to me, this could have been something that it can be consistent. We'll talk about this a little bit more tomorrow morning. Don't forget to join me on Mint Street Mondays. But for now, we're just going to bask in the win. Man, bend, don't break on defense. You know, early on, it didn't look all that well. Down 21-7, right? But the defense made some key stops in key moments to put your offense back in position to get stuff done, right? And that's what's most important. Like I said, ultimately, what we want, wins. That's more important than anything else. We want wins. And y'all gave it to us. And man, what a feeling. Especially to do it to this team of all teams, right? You could tell that there were certain players and certain key people that were missing, that the effect was felt, right? Lathan Ransom was missing in that nickel spot. But the safety spot. Corey Thornton, stepped up. Had some rookie mistakes, whatever, but for the most part, looked pretty good, right? Claudin Cherylus stepped up big in the second half specifically. We do miss Trevor Wallace, no doubt. And Dan has always talked about how he believes in Trevor Wallace. And so I was glad to see what they were able to do, despite all the people that they were missing. And man, what a great effort by some of these guys down the stretch, man. Teteroy McMillan, superstar. Xavier Legette, coming into his own. Big time play, man. Big time grab for the touchdown. Kind of the similar thing that you saw him do at South Carolina. We got to see it in full force today. Makes you wonder, is this the first step in something that could continue? Like I said, we'll go a little bit further deep dive in that tomorrow morning on Mint Street Mondays. But regardless, man, this was, like I said, this was just one of those great victories, and to perform the sweep in their house in a game similar to how it was last year. At the end, it has to go into overtime. Bryce with a big time, play at the end of the game, right, to Tommy Tremble. Rico with a big time play that should have been the touchdown that would have, sealed, the comeback. And then the 2-point conversion to Jalen Coker. Jalen Coker making some great grabs throughout the game. Bryce Young dealing. Bryson Tremaine making some grabs throughout the game. Like, this was just one of those victories that really can change the trajectory of this team moving forward. And I think it will. I don't think this is a one-off. This is a 6-5 team. We are above 500. This team will continue to grow, continue to build, continue to get better. What I'm more excited about is seeing when more guys start to develop in the way of like a Nick Scorton, who, again, had a big-time sack. who, again, big time in the run game, right? Penalties weren't necessarily going our way. You know what I'm saying? Bunch of holding calls on the defensive backs. You know, at one point I saw A.J. Terrell literally like grab and hug Teteroy McMillan, no call. But despite all that, they overcame it. And none more important, none more effective than that 448-yard performance. Listen, if I'm going to sit here and listen all week to all the think pieces, to all the overreactions, to all the, you know, the disdain, some of the evil vitriol towards my man, of course you know I'm going to turn up for him this week. You already know what time it is with me. Like I said, Mint Street Mondays, we're going to dive all the way into it. But for the here and now, man, the battle of 85 is over. And in incredible fashion. Look, I'm excited, man. Now we get to do this. If I'm not mistaken, Monday Night Football, we are the only show in town. I don't think this is a Monday night doubleheader, right? So we get to do this. Imagine what happens in the national conversation, let alone the fact that you have the chance to go 7-5. But what happens in the national conversation if you have a similar performance on the road in Levi Stadium against that team, right? That's when things start to change nationally. With us, you already know what it is because we've been believing. This ain't nothing new to us. But for the ultimate, like, total picture of everything, this completely changes everything. But regardless, man, make sure y'all smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, bell notification so you never miss a video. Look, man, Mint Street Mondays tomorrow morning. I know I plugged it like crazy, pause, but we are really going to deep dive this game tomorrow with my co-host, Brad. I'm extremely excited about what this means moving forward for us. And I think this is the win that's going to put us on the trajectory for greatness, not just for this season, but moving forward. Man, I'll see y'all first thing in the morning. Happy Victory Sunday and on to Victory Monday. Keep pounding.